ex-fiancée wrote back to me and said that she'd be delighted to see me before Christmas. She was hating her course, she was hating most of the people on it, she hated where she had to live, and she agreed to meet me, and we met up 3 days before Christmas. I took her to see It's a Wonderful Life at the cinema. We had a drink afterwards and talked about things, and came to the kind of conclusion that if she came back after she'd completed the second term, because she was going to see through the second term and see the course through, but if she came back, which looked likely, then we might try and pick things up again. I was happy to hear this, but at the same time I wasn't a fool. I knew that if things went better for her on the second term, and that if things started to turn round, I knew the likelihood of her coming back would be very, very slim. So I wasn't staking too much on it, but I was encouraged. But what I wasn't banking on was the reaction of my parents. When we split up, my parents were glad. They'd got on great with my fiancée until the last couple of months of the relationship, mainly because while my father had been ill, he'd been visited by many people, many family, many friends, many acquaintances. Many people had sent him cards and letters, but my fiancée never went near him, never went to visit him in hospital, never wrote to him, and when he came out of hospital, she came round to visit the first day after he got back, walked into the lounge where he was and didn't say anything to him, didn't say hello, didn't say how are you, didn't go over and hug him. I had to prompt her by saying, oh, he's looking well, isn't he? She just said nothing to him at all. And my parents were flabbergasted that a woman who was supposed to be their potential daughter-in-law could behave in such a way, and they never forgave her for it. I understood how they felt, but I was too craven a coward to pick her up on it at the time, and I cut her slack because she was there for me while my father was going through his illness. You know, she never let me down in terms of support at that time. My parents, though, were unequivocal that if I wanted to get back with her, then I could, but if we ended up getting married and forging a life together, it would be without them. They wouldn't attend the wedding, and I was basically put into a situation where I was told that if I wanted to make a life with my fiancée, or my ex-fiancée, I had to do it without my parents. And this was told to me 3 days before Christmas. So you can imagine what a wonderful time we had on Christmas Day. I saw my ex a few more times over that Christmas holiday, saw her in the new year with her, and then she went back for the second term of her course. I told her about the situation. And basically she said that the issue had been that several of her family had died of cancer, and it had become such a sort of taboo how to cope with it. Which sort of seemed plausible, but you know, I wasn't too convinced. But anyway, I then went into 2001 and spent the best part of the next month trying to bring together some kind of emotional diplomacy between my parents and my ex. And I just remember having so many conversations with my mum and my dad about why I was doing it, why I wanted to get back with her, how we could get round the difficulties that there were. And in many ways this put as big a strain on me as the previous summer had. And I can remember walking home one night from the pub, having been out for some drinks with friends, walking through the town centre, thinking about the situation, and bursting into tears in the middle of the street, because I couldn't believe how things had got so fucked up into a situation where I thought on one hand I might lose the woman I love, or thought I loved, and on the other hand lose my parents, and it just seemed to me absolutely intolerable. But I had to keep fighting for what I believed I wanted at that time. I was due to see her at the end of February 2001, and by then I'd sort of managed to get something approaching a kind of rapprochement going on between my parents and my ex. The real test though was going to come when I went up and saw